So imagine putting in 3 years of work and not having more than $10 to show for it. Essentially, I knew I had to pivot. There are entrepreneurs who are watching right now who get to a level in business where they convince themselves that I got to do everything.
As long as you believe that you have 24 hours in a day, you will never make 8 figures. You will never make 9 figures, and you will never be a billionaire.
So that means you allowed 5 years of your life to pass for you to stay in the same exact position over $500.
To another episode of the Execute Podcast with Herman Dawsey, aka the Haitian CEO, and I have a wonderful special guest today, former president of the United States. No, wait, that's the next episode. Listen, one of my most amazing mentee, friends, business partner. I've made money with this gentleman. Amazing family friend. Came all the way from Brooklyn, New York, right? Yeah. Has funded millions and millions of dollars, has deleted over 1,000 inquiries. Listen, the video is viral on YouTube. I'm definitely going to put it in the YouTube description so you can check it out. Please. My man, my brother, my fellow countryman,
yes, sir.
Marvin Francois. How you doing today, bro? You doing good, bro?
Listen, you said before
talk to me.
You weren't gonna try and top my intro. I think that's up there.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Listen, I have been on your podcast at least 2 to 3 times. I'm definitely gonna link that below because his introductions are legendary. The homework he does for his interviews are crazy. This is an honor. I got you on the Execute Podcast. Now, I won't guarantee that we're going to do those high numbers that, when I come on your podcast. You have the bigger platform.
Don't do this.
So I think we're at 100,000 views on yours?
I mean, allegedly, that's what the rumors have.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I have a smaller pod.
Okay.
So, I'm going to get you a couple of views. Bro.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to do my best.
I'm feeling a light 50 on this one.
A light 50.
Light 50.
From your lips.
Yeah,
to the man above. Marv, I appreciate you coming on the pod, bro. Listen, unfortunately,
talk to me.
The podcast that we had behind the scenes before the videographer got here, that was the podcast that
y'all missed it. It was a conversation of conversations.
Listen, bro, I want to bring some of it onto the show today when we're talking about business and high level business because we've been to 6, we've been to 7, and we're trying to get to 8 in revenue, and we were trying to figure that out and what that journey has been like. So we're gonna get to that in a second.
Man, I'm absolutely fantastic, but if I was any better, I'd probably be you.
That's crazy. You wrote that down? You've been practicing?
That's genuinely how I feel, man.
That was good. Listen, I think it's important that I don't just pigeonhole you and identify you as the inquiry guy.
Okay.
So we're not going to do that.
Yes, sir.
This video will be in the YouTube description alone.
Yeah.
That video, your inquiry video is literally millions of views, right? So we're going to start about your credit repair journey, who you are, and we'll talk about how you're trying to get to 8 figures in business. So real quick, bro, tell the people who are you. I did an intro. They don't know who you are. Tell them who you are, bro.
Do you want the long story short or the short story long?
Listen, the short story long.
Short story long. My name is Marvin Francois. I am the CMO of Takeoff Financial. We are a financial consulting firm that primarily works with business owners doing at least $500,000 in revenue and helping them secure anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in business credit, right? But obviously, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah.
So if we go a couple years back, I actually come from a background, as you know, in the entertainment space. At one point in time, I was aspiring stand-up comedian that had dropped out of school, which, as I'm sure you know, we both come from Lakai. So in our homes, there's only 3 career choices. It's doctor, lawyer, engineer, and anything outside of that, you gotta get out of my house.
You gotta get out of my house.
So I ultimately thought I was gonna go to school to be a doctor, took my first chem class, failed that, realized I wasn't gonna be a doctor, realized I had a knack for comedy, pursued that for 3 years, but then COVID happened. So when COVID came, what that made me realize is that I spent the last 3 years in comedy running around, and in my mind, I thought I was successful in this hot shot because I'm doing colleges and comedy clubs all across the country. But then COVID was the first time I really sat my butt down and looked at my bank account, and I had $7 to my name.
Yikes.
So imagine putting in 3 years of work and not having more than $10 to show for it, essentially just because, comedy's a long game. It takes much longer than you would like. So I knew I had to pivot. I prayed on it and decided that I was going to go ahead and get into business. And 2020 was the year where I decided to do that. I experimented with 4 different businesses that ultimately just didn't work. I got to e-com, didn't work. I tried to sell hand soap, true story, didn't work. I tried to start a brick and mortar business with my family. That didn't work. I tried to get into real estate. That didn't work. And I'm bouncing around and I'm just like, man, I have to find my footing. What is the thing that's for me? And then one day I get on social media and there's this dark skinned dude, bald, beard, Haitian. And he's like, hey, I'm hosting a credit repair class in Philly. Come out, it's $1,500. I'm looking at my bank account. I got $15. I had to borrow money from friends and family. Little did I know at that moment in time, that was my true introduction to credit, right? Leveraging other people's money to go ahead and go to this class. And that was a class that really shifted my mindset. Because in that moment in time, I come from Canarsie, Brooklyn, right? So the neighborhoods I'm from, it's, yo, you heard this hot new song. Yo, you heard that so-and-so talking about nothing, right? But getting in that room that you had put together, that was my first time. I mean, I'm hearing people talk about, wait, hold on, 6 figures, 7 figures. Okay, we're having multi-6-figure and 7-figure conversations, and that started to shift my mind and help me to understand that there was a much larger game being played that I wasn't privy to. Ultimately, from that class, that's when I decided to start my credit restoration company. Ended up putting out content on YouTube, of course, around the expertise that I started to learn from me navigating that space. And from there, going into 2021, that was when I made my first 6 figures. Now, the good news is, right, I'm building the business, I'm leveraging content to scale the company, and everything's going great. But I learned very quickly, and you know this better than I do, just because there's a lot of people that can make content, but not everybody can run a business. So at the time, I was kind of thrusted into the entrepreneurship space because my channel took off so fast that I didn't understand payroll. I didn't understand hiring, operations, SOPs, and things of that sort. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, we're making 6 figures. Life is great. But there was a much larger set of skills that I needed to learn to run a business successfully if I really wanted to get to 7. So later on that year, I'm going to masterminds and mentorships. I ended up meeting my now business partner, shout out to my guy Webb, our current COO, and me and him got connected. And for the next 1 to 2 years, little did I know, he's watching me from afar, just like monitoring me, right? And we're short talking, we're masterminding, we're sharing information. And there was a season in the business where because I didn't understand how to run the business effectively, that, essentially the business started to decline slowly but surely. And I didn't know what was going on. Because in my mind, like, I make content, I make money. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Webb, the gentleman that had been watching me from afar because I didn't really have anyone else that I felt like I could go to at the time, I told him about it. He ends up coming in the business and he's just holding a masterclass, showing me everything. He's like, where are your SOPs? Where's your sales scripts? Where's your hiring structure? Where's your org chart? All these things I had never heard before. Once again, it's just make content, make money. Mm-hmm. He ends up coming in and helping me save the day with my business. And then fast forward a couple weeks later, he sends me a text message. He's like, yo, bro, I want to pitch you something. Like, what do you want to pitch me? He's just like, I just want to make sure you're stationary, you're sitting down. Let me know when you're ready. I'm like, yo, I'm good. He ends up sending me like this Shark Tank pitch where he's pretty much just like, hey, listen, you're really good with marketing. I'm really good with operations. I think we should partner up and do something very special here. Because he also had a background in the credit and funding space. We ended up launching our now company, Takeoff Financial, in 2022. And from there, we have been able to launch pad that with his skill set and my skill set to where we've been able to serve over 114,000 business owners all across the country, either getting access to capital, restoring their credit, or structuring the business properly. It's been well interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I consider you a brother and a friend, and there was a lot in that I did not know.
Really?
I did not know that the first class you came to was my class.
Ever.
And I don't know the last time I charged $1,500.
That's how you know it's a long time ago.
That was
a long time ago, yeah.
Wow, bro. And I remember that class when you showed up. That was the beginning?
That was the beginning.
You couldn't unsee it after that.
I couldn't unsee it after that. I remember that day vividly because I remember at the time, that same day that I came to the class, if we're going to get personal, is actually the same day I had just gotten out of a relationship that same day.
Really?
I left that class, I got out of the relationship. I remember I was going home driving that day and there was so many things going through my mind. I'm processing the class, I'm processing, why the relationship ended. And I just remember on the drive home, I felt like God was speaking to me. He was just like, everything that's happening in your life right now, the people I'm moving and the things that I'm bringing in need to happen because there's a season I'm about to bring you into that I'm preparing. I'm not trying to get spiritual, but there's a season I'm about to bring you into that I'm preparing you for, right? And lo and behold, I see him raising his hand. That I'm need to prepare you for. And once again, you go from being the past 3, 4, 5 years banging your head against a wall, trying to scrape by to make money, to 9 months later making your first 6 figures, and then going on to make multiple 7. The rest is history.
Can I give you a message?
Talk.
Can I give you a message?
Talk.
Something that Christ revealed unto me.
Talk.
He said, and it was for me too, but I shared it with some people. Heavenly math. In heavenly math, because there's girl math, right?
Okay.
There's guy math. Heavenly math is the only math where subtraction equals multiplication. Let that marinate. The marinate, right?
Say it again for the people. Make sure they heard it.
Heavenly math is the only math where subtraction equals multiplication. So, I always say audit your circle. Once God removes those things from your life, it doesn't like double or triple. It multiplies. It's exponential. What happens for that dead week is that dead week.
Right.
So, and literally, your life has been exponential over the last 6 years.
Right.
A lot of there's a lot of message in just that little 5-minute introduction.
Yep.
The one, you had to audit your circle.
Yep.
God removed something out of your life that you thought was important.
Yep.
You borrowed money to invest into yourself.
Yep.
And the return on investment has been infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're still making money off of that decision that you made so long ago.
Right.
And it wasn't that you just invested in the information. You continue to get mentorship.
Yep.
And you actually implemented the information that you sold. There's a lot of people who took courses. They got mentorship, but they never pressed play on the video. Mm-hmm. They never went to the gym. I saw this guy. He said, the gym is a scam if you don't go.
It's the truth.
I was like, that's the truth.
It's true.
Oh, you took my money, but you didn't come to the gym though. You ain't do the work. So the work is absolutely amazing. Another thing you said in that intro.
Talk to me.
$500,000 businesses is what you have pivoted to. We are a long way from the inquiry guy.
Yeah.
Millions of views. Showed that he literally got on the phone with Experian. Mm-hmm. That was kind of bold of you to do.
I had to.
Because they watch it. Mm-hmm. And it still works. Mm-hmm. Phone calls, you deleting these inquiries in 24 hours. Link in the bio will show you how to do it step by step. The first video was so good, you was like, I'm going to do it again to show you it still works.
And it still works.
And it still works as of right now, 2026. Mm-hmm. I need to talk about, to the entrepreneurs that are listening, how'd you do your reps? And we're going to get into your workout routine. How'd you do your reps to get really good at what you did in terms of just the credit stuff? Because now you have pivoted already into the funding space. But I want to talk about how you continue to educate yourself.
Man, so you said something key. You talked about investing in mentorship, investing in rooms and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. I think for me, the most important lesson that I learned that really helped me to accelerate is that there's only so much that Marvin can learn, right? So it was less about investing in information and more so about investing in people. Because you got to think, if I'm putting myself in scenarios where I'm not the only person that's educating myself on what lenders are saying, what's going on with the credit reporting agencies, different shifts that are happening within our industry, but I'm surrounding myself with 10 other individuals, there may be something that you see that I don't see. That person B doesn't see, that person C may see, and then we're all ultimately coming together. We're sharing information, we're sharing gems. So I think that more than anything was the thing that really helped me to launch my understanding around not just personal credit, but business credit as well. I think the second thing as well is just doing the homework. Right. So it's like, I'm glad that you brought up the inquiry video, because it's just like, I think people overcomplicate what it looks like to educate yourself around personal credit and around business credit and beyond. I was really getting on the phone with credit reporting agencies and asking the questions that I needed answers to. I was and still am right now speaking with relationship managers and from different banks and lenders all across the country. And I have team members doing it all across the country every 60 to 90 days. And we're educating ourselves on, okay, what is the bank viewing as risk, right? What are lenders prioritizing when it comes to the businesses that they want to work with in terms of getting access to $50,000, $75,000, $100,000? I'm not going on Instagram and waiting for somebody else to make a post up. No, I'm going directly to the source. And I'm speaking to them so that I can get privy to the changes that are happening, so that not only am I prepared for my business, but I'm also preparing my clients as well and helping them understand this is what lenders are looking for. This is how you have to position your personal credit. These are the different things you need to do when it comes to structuring your business so that you're in position to get these big approvals that you see everyone else getting. So I think that was it more than anything. It comes down to environment and then actually being in the field doing the dirty work that nobody wants to talk about.
You just said something crazy, because you're trying to get a higher ticket. Well, you are getting higher ticket clients, right. $500,000 and up, $1 million. So there's a different level of work and expectation that you need to do on your end.
100%.
So you are literally calling these lending institutions nationwide, getting your own relationship managers. Hey, Wells Fargo. Hey, Chase. Hey, Texas Credit Union. Because somebody's not going to make that phone call, but you are.
They are.
Well, you said some things. Hey, what is the risk? What do you guys consider risk? What do I need to do to open up a bank account? Who are you giving money to? What type of businesses do you like to partner with? Because I like to say my banks are my business partners. So these are the questions you ask. Can you I love giving a example. What other questions are you asking when we're trying to build relationships with these lending institutions to get these high limit capital?
Yeah, for sure. So first, let's take a step back and talk about what building relationship even is, because it's very, very important that people understand that. Because we hear that term getting thrown around a lot. The reason why we want to make sure we're prioritizing building relationships with these lenders, and this is based on the conversation that me and my company and our team is having with relationship managers that are in there, is because outside of course, how the business is structured, the relationship that you have with that lender is the most important thing. So what does it look like to build a relationship with them? It means you're opening a business checkings. It means that you're opening a business savings. You're making those consistent deposits that are making you and your business look proprietary to that lender. So that when you come back and you say, hey, whatever lender, let me get $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in business credit, it makes sense for them to do so. Because you know, and I know, most people don't know, these lenders have something called a bank rating system.
Yep.
Where essentially they're taking those deposits that you're making on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and the larger the deposits, the more consistent the deposits, the better you and your business are positioned so that when you come back and try and get access to capital, you're able to get approvals. If I take person A and I take person B, and person A is going to a bank for the first time and he's like, give me 50,000. But person B just waited a little 2 to 4 months. He hooked up his merchant account with his business and had $1,000, $2,000, however much going in every single month. Who do you think is going to get the better? Right. So it's extremely important that we understand that. Now, to the other point you mentioned, you talked about what are the questions that we're asking the lenders, or the lenders asking us in terms of the question you had?
Well, you're asking lenders to form these relationships.
Yeah, for sure. So the biggest thing that in the conversations we're asking the lenders right now is pretty much what are the things that you guys are prioritizing when it comes to the businesses that you're working with? What are the 2 to 3 things that you're looking at? From all the lenders that we're speaking at across the board, the big thing that they're looking at is risk, right? Every lender is trying to analyze risk. Why? And you know this just as well as I do. Banks have money that they want to lend, but their second highest priority after lending out the money, because that's how they make the money, is to make sure that they're lending in a way that protects them, right? So how do they do that? They need to be able to analyze your overall risk as a potential borrower, not just you, but also your business as well. So what lenders are looking at on the business side is, okay, are you properly structured? What does properly structured look like? Do you have the right business address in place, the right business website, phone number, email address, things of that sort? Or are you commingling, right, your personal assets with your business assets to where we can't tell the difference between the two? On the personal side, okay, how is your personal credit report structured, right? Are you running to every lender under the sun and getting 18, 20 inquiries and then coming to us? Because that looks very risky for us, and we're not sure if we want to necessarily take a chance on you. Or do you have the structure in place to where your utilization is low, your inquiry account is lower, right? You have good comparable credit on there so that, once again, when your business is structured the correct way, your personal credit is structured the right way, your risk profile looks a lot lower to the lenders to where it's all but inevitable for them to get you access to the capital. So when I'm speaking with those relationship managers, it comes down to risk, and the biggest things within that bucket is, okay, is the business properly structured?
Yeah.
What kind of relationship you have with us? And third, most importantly, how does your personal credit look? If you check off those 3 boxes, now you're in prime position to be able to go out and get those big approvals.
Nasty work. That's literally the blueprint of how you're working with your high 6-figure, 7-figure clients.
Yeah, 100%.
So when these people come to you, like if I'm making $1 million, $2 million a year,
Yep.
I feel those people know something, but you're telling me they don't know a lot about funding, so they gotta come to you?
Have to, absolutely. Because, and what we talked about before, relationships. So we live in a day and age right now of social media and internet content where there's a lot of people saying 50 to 100,000, 100 to 250,000, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But the misconception that it creates is that anyone under the sun can just walk into a lender on their own and get access to capital, right? To a certain extent, can you? Yes, but the difference between you going by yourself versus going through someone like myself that has relationships with lenders that we're cultivating on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis is that every 60 to 90 days, there are changes that are happening in the marketplace that you may not be, you aren't privy to. Why are these changes happening? Because of a lot of the information that's being put on social media. So it's a cycle. What happens is someone comes out with a hack, right? And they say like, yo, we all gonna run the play, right? This is the play. Make sure you
Tyler Perry.
to everybody, and we gonna run the play like Tyler Perry. Everybody put this on your application. Make sure you say this, say that. Banks are paying attention to this.
They're watching the same video, bro.
So now what happens? Lenders are privy to it, and once they see that this content's being put out, they're constantly moving the goalposts. You don't know that, not you specifically, but the tutors watching at home doesn't know that. So now what they end up doing is, in their mind, there are certain people who are using strategies and tactics from social media posts that they saw back in 2020 that aren't working.
That was a scam. It don't work.
And it's just, once again, they don't understand that the banks are constantly moving the goalposts. Why? Because once again, they want to lend the money, but they want to protect themselves and mitigate risk. Where me and my firm have the advantage is we're speaking to not just lenders in big national banks, we're speaking to different relationship managers, credit unions, and regional banks all across the country who are asking the same questions. What are you guys looking for when it comes to the businesses that you want to work with? So that we're always ahead of the 8 ball. So that way, when a client comes to us, we're not just giving them a cookie cutter, all right, these are the lenders we're going to bring you through. No, we know exactly what lender A, B, and C are looking at. We're going to analyze the overall risk profile of your business so that we're putting it in prime position, right, to go ahead and work with these lenders. And we're creating a custom funding strategy for you to where, while everyone is talking about going to banks A, B, and C, no, for your situation specifically, where your risk profile is, we want to go ahead and partner you with these lenders, because if you're saying you need to get $50,000 to $60,000, these are the lenders within our ecosystem that are going to help you go ahead and get there. And that's the step-by-step blueprint that we're laying out.
I'm going to get a little controversial.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on.
I want to talk about poor people.
Let's talk. Let's talk about
what happened? I want to talk about poor people. Okay.
Yeah.
When I say poor people, I mean poor mindset.
Okay.
And broke mindset. Because as you know, we run challenges.
Yep.
We do all this, so we do these webinars and whatever. And I had an interesting webinar last night, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I got a product. It was $97 for general admission, $197 for VIP. Mm. And no shade to anybody. Everyone is in a different economical state.
Right.
You learn and then you earn.
Yep.
Whatever you're making now is based on what's in your brain.
100%.
Right? So when people say I ain't got it, I have to be very respectful to it. But it concerns me.
Yep.
You don't have $97 disposable income. Mm-hmm. All right. It makes me feel like I got to do more work because my message isn't out there. Everyone should have $100 disposable income. Or somebody be in a comment like, yo, I get paid on Friday. Mm-hmm. So it lets me know how dire the situation is. You're like, you don't want to work with those people anymore. That's what you just said. Because you just said, no. So that's what you said. He's like 500,000 above. And the mastermind that we had behind the scenes was people who don't have it. They help out in other areas of our business. Yeah. So our credit repair clients, they don't have a lot of money, but we put them on subscription basis and they take care of the business that way. Mm-hmm. I want you to talk to me about why you have pivoted your business to only work with basically 7-figure entrepreneurs, the good, bad, and ugly with that.
So it's not that necessarily. Well, first, let me take a step back because you talked a little bit about poor, which I think poor starts as a mindset. Right? Can I share a story with you that I've never shared with anyone before?
Talk to me.
We both, you of course know Marcus Barney, Head 500.
Yeah.
Right. So Marcus, I was one of the original members of Recession
Group. Right.
So every year Marcus would do a conference around, I think it's called like Recession Proof Conference, for his mentees. So this was back in 2022, right? Where he did a conference in Vegas, and I'd never been to one before. I just joined Recession Proof at the time. And I was nervous about going out there because I felt like I'd never been to Vegas before. I didn't know if I was going to waste my time. I didn't know what was going to come up at the conference. So in order for me to make a decision about going to a conference where multi 6 and 7-figure earners are going to be at, I made the grave mistake of asking for counsel from people who weren't at that level.
Hey.
So I'm speaking to people that I grew up with. I'm like, yo, you think remember, I'm still relatively new in the space of business. So I'm like, I didn't know. So I'm speaking to people who are close to me who have, never made that amount of money in their life. I'm just like, hey, you think I should go? And what do you think everyone's saying? Like, I don't know, man. You probably, what is he going to teach you that you don't already know? Right? What's going, like, what is going to come from you going?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, bump it, right? I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay back. I'm going to do my own thing. Now, for a bit of context, going into that, I had just started my podcast at the time. Francois, your number one source for all things business, finance, and investing. Right?
Shameless
plug. So I just started my podcast. The podcast is building up. It's getting some traction, right? And individuals I'm at a point now where certain high-level individuals are looking to come on the show. Awesome. I share that why? Because the day of the conference comes, and I'm just like, man, let me go on social media and see what's going on at the conference and see what's going on. I'm well connected enough in the entrepreneur space, and I see everybody who I know under the sun is going crazy at the conference, right? Mac Johnson comes out and speaks. People are talking.
Oh, you didn't come?
I didn't. Well, no. Oh, I did. Watch.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't go initially because of the conversations I had with people I grew up with, right? the day of the conference comes, I go on social media and I start getting a FOMO because I'm seeing everybody posting about the conference.
You was outside.
Yeah. So now I'm pissed because I'm just like, man, how could I let an opportunity like this pass? I should have gone. I'm angry. I'm going to everybody on the side. I can't believe I didn't go. I should have went. One of my closest friends at the time was like, yo, you're a full-time entrepreneur. There's nothing stopping you from going right now. See if you can catch a red eye and go out there. I'm like, you serious? He's like, bro, I'll drop you to the airport if you want to. Mind you, I live in New York. It's in Vegas, right? I hop on Expedia, hop on the first thing smoking. I don't even have time to get myself together. The same outfit I was running around with all day, I kind of just threw it on, got my little luggage bag. A friend drove me to the airport. I hopped on a 6-hour flight to Vegas. I land, right? Day one of the conference is done. Remember, it's a day 2 conference. I'm walking to my hotel room. My phone rings. Who's calling me? Shout out to my guy, Dion Coopwood. Dion Coopwood called me. Remember, I had my podcast now at the time. Dion calls me. He's just like, yo, bro, where you at? Nobody knew I had flew in yet. I was very under the radar. I'm just like, I'm here. What's up? He's like, yo, I have 3 people here right now ready to pay you X amount to go ahead and be a guest on your podcast.
You're lying.
Wait,
there's more?
Oh, there's more. I'm just like, I said, matter of fact, the same thing you said, the same thing I said, bro, you lying. He's like, bro, I put him on speaker right now. What's up? I said, I just landed. He's like, you lying. FaceTime. He's laughing. I'm laughing because in his mind, he's just like, oh, okay, you had to come because you saw what was going on. He ends up connecting me with somebody from the event. We end up meeting downstairs in the lobby of the hotel. 30-minute conversation. I'm getting ingratiated with them. They're getting ingratiated with me. And then, of course, we get to business. He's like, yo, so what's up? What's the ticket?
What's the ticket?
Now, at this moment, I'm nervous. I'm like, I mean, it's X amount. He's like, cool. Next 30 minutes, it'll be in your account. I'm like, in my mind, I'm just like, okay. He's like, text me the information. And the next 30 minutes, the money will be in your account. I didn't even make it back to my hotel room. I got the notification. Complete mindset shift, right?
That's it.
Why do I share that? It goes back to what we talked about at the top of the podcast. When you talk about the poor mindset. A lot of times it's not about getting access to more information. A lot of times it's about putting yourself in the right circle. Do you think if I had called you or if I called one of these other high-level people like, yo, you think I should go to the conference? Y'all would have cursed me out for not being out.
I mean, if I get ticket there, bro, like,
it was like $300. However much it was, right? But because I was still stuck in that mindset of poor, of scarcity mindset of like, well, what am I gonna get from gaining? I would have never closed that deal, right? And I was one of many people that closed that weekend. By the way, we're gonna talk about that further down. But that's the point, though, right? That wouldn't have happened if I had stayed. That wouldn't have happened if I had betted on myself in that moment and stopped thinking from the mindset of scarcity versus abundance. Why aren't you? You're in a room with individuals that are doing better than you in different aspects of business that you can learn from, coach from, build with. You're supposed to be here. And that, for me, was the moment where my entire mindset around money shifted. So I felt the need to share that story where you talked about just the poor mindset of it all, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nah, man, that was a great little clip, man. It's either in you or it isn't, because you borrowed money to get the 15 to come to my class, and your life literally was not the same.
Yep.
So you just did it again.
Yeah.
Even still, you was like, should I go?
Yeah.
And then you finally book your ticket, went, and who knows what the X amount you made, and your podcast has grown since significantly.
Right.
That is a great story. Beg, borrow, bleed. I think that the other thing with poverty mindset is that I do something on my webinars, right?
Talk to me.
So like we sell the ticket for $197, $200. I was like, I'm gonna be with you for 5 days. If I don't give you double your money worth of information, just ask for a refund. So if you don't feel you're gonna spend 5 days with me, if I don't give you $400 worth of information, email us, we'll give it back to you. I've been doing this for years, not one email. Not one email, right? The other part too about that is that people are afraid to bet on themselves. So I call it, that's my 2-time money back guarantee. Because no one ever asks for a money back guarantee on themselves. Because we're in February now, everyone's like, yeah, January 1st, I'm in the gym, right? It's 6 weeks into the year, you weigh more than you started. I'll see you in the gym. So what's the money back guarantee on yourself? But you always want somebody money back guarantee on somebody. Oh, it's a scam, but you ain't do the work. You ain't hustle, you ain't grind. Not only did you borrow money for my $1,500, you drove from New York to Philly, drove back, executed on the information, like, where's the accountability? So I think people are scared to hold themselves accountable. I think the society we live in, nobody wants to hold themselves accountable. Like, it's your fault, right? And I think when I started holding myself accountable for everything, like, yo, if it rains outside, it's my fault. If I'm late, it's my fault. If this happened, it's my fault. It changed my life and helped me become more successful. How is it working with these higher level clients, these 7-figure clients? Is it harder? Is it easier? Or is it just a different type of business? What has that been like for you and your business partner?
You talked about this off camera. It's been a huge mindset shift for us as well, just from the standpoint of you're dealing with individuals that conversations around return on investment become so simple. Because you know just as well as I do, once you get to a certain level in business, it's not a question of price, it's a question of value. Right? If I know that I could spend $5,000, $10,000, if I could spend $5,000 to make $50,000, I'm in. If I could spend $10,000 to make $20,000, $30,000, I'm in. So it's never a conversation of money. It's always a question of what can I get a return on. And I think for us, it's been an absolute game changer. Now, of course, to take a step back, we still want to be able to serve and work with business owners that are doing whether it be below 500,000, right? But the reason with us working with these higher level individuals, once again, it's created a shift for us to where now we're getting a lot more clarity on what it really takes to elevate a business, the kind of individuals that we need to be around, the kind of partnerships that matter, right? And also understanding that true leverage in the game of business is around quality and not quantity, right? Because if I could serve one business owner for a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 ticket versus having to serve tens of thousands of people at a $200 ticket, I'm going with a high level person every single time, right? It's not to take anything away from the other individuals, because once again, we still serve them to a degree, but the level of business that you're conducting with that high level person, it's night and day.
And the time.
Yeah.
So for me, the level of business is different, but the time. Like I just had to spend be with one person for 10,000 versus me having to serve 1,000 people to get 10,000. Like it's ball game. And this part of the pod is going to hurt some feelings, and it is what it is. And I really don't care, quite frankly. But I remember when Magic Johnson said it, it offended me. Like it's probably offended some people right now. I forgot who he was interviewing with, but he was like, the same deals, the same paper and pen to make $1 million is the same deal to make the $10,000. And that's where that meme came from. I ain't gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Where he's like, no, I'm doing those deals now.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to be unavailable. Right? So like sometimes people will be like, yo, man, I bought your ebook and da-da-da. I'm like, customer service, bro. Like, I don't ebook for $5. Nah, bro, I don't answer questions for $5. Right? Like I got a team now to handle that. Somebody pay me $10,000, they got my number. Yo, Herm, I have this client I'm trying to close. Can you help? Absolutely. Let's get them on three-way right now. Right?
But to that point, when we were talking about mindset shifts, we can't talk about that without first talking about, I think, the point of constraint that most business owners deal with that keep them from getting to that point, which is there are entrepreneurs who are watching right now who get to a level in business where they convince themselves that I got to do everything. And we were talking about this off camera. I got to do everything. I got to do everything in my business. Ain't nobody gonna market like I do. Ain't nobody gonna send out these letters like I do. Ain't nobody gonna do fulfillment like I do. I got to do everything from top to bottom. And you have people with multi-million-dollar business level talent that are running companies that are doing $5,000 to $10,000. There's nothing wrong with that, but they could just be doing so much more if they shifted their mindset and understanding of what it really takes to get to that point that you're talking about, right? You were talking about it off camera, and I was telling you about different constraints I have in the business. And I remember you leaned in and you were just like, "Oh, you're too close to the business."
Yeah.
I was just like, "What are you talking about?" You're just like, whenever I hear entrepreneurs, these are your words, like whenever I hear entrepreneurs saying that, there's certain things that are annoying them in the business, it's just because you haven't found the right person to take that off your plate. And in that moment, that was a big shift for me as well, because I'm like, dang, her right? So at every level, you have to constantly, and obviously in the beginning stages of business, you got to get your bearings, you have to learn your business and do everything. But once you get to a certain point, to get to those levels where, once again, like you said, we're having, multi 6-figure and 7-figure conversations. If you have a vice grip on your business to where you're afraid to make that higher, right? Implement that system to be more hands-off, you're never going to get to that point.
Can I tell you?
Talk to me.
How much that information that I told you, like, because you're saying something, I don't want to give it up, or this is bothering me. You was like, you want to know how much that information cost me that I gave you?
Yep.
It cost me $5,000.
Really?
Yes, that little bit of information that I gave you. I was like, oh, you're too close to the business. I thought you're bothered. Because that's an important cog that needs to happen in your business. But you're like, I'm just going to throw it away and I'm just going to move into something else, right? So I'm like, no, bro, like, you need to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Why did it cost me $5,000? I had to fly out to Los Angeles, met with another mentor out there, met with some multi-millionaire and a billionaire colleague out there.
Yeah.
And he said something interesting. You want to know what he said to me?
Tell me.
He said, and I'm going to ask you this not rhetorically, I want you to answer it to me.
Okay.
How many hours are in a day? How many hours do you have in a day?
24.
Wrong. He's like, as long as you believe that you have 24 hours in a day, you will never make 8 figures. You will never make 9 figures, and you will never be a billionaire. So remember while we were talking, I told you, you need to get an agent to do that. You can create an agent and it'll do it from front to bottom, get the SOPs, and it'll create it for you. That job that you didn't want to do probably would take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. The agent can do it over and over and over and over again. You just got yourself back an hour. So remember when I was telling you how we're automating our credit repair business with agents, right? So now I already hired VAs to do the job, but now I'm gonna have agents to do the job because now the agents can do it infinitely. So now the fulfillment increases, my revenue increases. So literally AI is giving us damn near unlimited time. So he's like, I have way more than 24 hours in a day. He's like, I have 1,000 hours in a day because I can accomplish so much more.
Because he's putting the right systems.
Because he's putting the right systems in place. Because there's something else that hurt my feelings.
Talk to me.
Rich people buy poor people's time. Let me say it again. Rich people buy poor people's time.
I'm right off the studio right now.
Listen. So I was like, what do you mean? Again, this is my billionaire time.
Right.
He's like, I was like, well, what do you mean about that? He's like, I don't clean my house, not because I have money, but because my time value is worth so much more. I'm going to buy your time because your time is not worthless, but worth less. Right? So I can give you $40, right? I see you.
Did I see that?
Whoa.
Go ahead, keep going.
So I can pick, and bro, when I started making a couple of more dollars, right? This is where it sound bougie, it sound crazy because my dad was a janitor. So literally, bro, my consultation call to talk on the phone was $500. And I remember I bought a new piece of property, bro. It's like 1/4 of an acre. And before I purchased it, I was talking with the neighbor. I was like, yo, like he was mowing his lawn. I was like, yo, like how long did it take you to mow your lawn? He's like 3 hours. I was like 3 hours. I was like, damn, I bought a machine and I got him for 3 hours. I hired my guy, Jose. Jose comes every other week. He gets on his big machine, zoop. He's done in 20 minutes and he charges me $40. To talk on the phone with me costs $500. Is it worth for me to mow my lawn for 3 hours? So this is what my mentor was telling me. He's like, yo, it's not that you're bougie, it's that your time is worth more. So now I pay for my time. Sometimes I get a chauffeur. Sometimes somebody comes and clean my house. Sometimes somebody do my laundry because my time is worth more money. So the more I elevate in my business, I'm outsourcing everything. So now even the workers that do the work, the agent will do it for free. So this is why I'm telling people, I'm like, listen, something is coming. And y'all gotta be ready for the shit.
I want to piggyback off of that. I think more people, the lesson that I get from that is the importance of audit. You talk about auditing your circle.
Right.
How much more important, how just as important is it for us to audit our time? How many entrepreneurs right now are in their minds just like, man, I'm so busy. Why am I not making more money? I'm doing so many different things. Why is it that my business is stuck at this revenue amount? It's just like they haven't taken time to look at their schedule and be like, oh, 90% of the things that I do that keep me busy aren't actually growing my company.
Or making me more money.
Right. I'm in 18, 20 meetings about things that I could really hand off to a VA that I can hire for $500, right? I'm over here, to your point, doing personal errands that, whether it's laundry, cooking, cleaning, whatever it may be, that I could pay somebody else $30, $40, $50 an hour one time. And essentially now take that same time and say, okay, cool, I'm going to use this time to cultivate a relationship that's going to help me close the deal. I'm going to use this time to create more content that's going to help me generate more lead flow for my business. It is so important for you to, and for me, there are going to be certain individuals that watch this and are going to convince themselves, well, I don't make enough money in order for me to be able to outsource or take some of these things that I'm doing on a day-to-day and hand it off to someone else. The second that you see what it is to be able to hand off a task that you don't want to do, buying yourself back that 2 to 3 hours and seeing how that you could use that 2 to 3 hours to close another deal or make more money in your business, you'll never go back. Now the mindset shift goes from, okay, I couldn't afford to bring this person in and take time off my plate to, okay, how can I afford to go ahead and make sure I keep bringing this person in because I need these hours back on my plate. And you know better than I do that the real leverage in business is not money, it's time.
It's time.
Because the more time that you have is the more opportunity that you can use to create more money in your business. So I think that's the shift that needs to happen for most people that are watching.
So the entrepreneurs that are up and coming, right? One of the hardest things it was for me to do was because I was a service-based business. And I was so glad that the people that started with my business, I never wanted to raise my prices because I wanted to help people. Then I became a capitalist, right? I'm trying to make some money, right? Was it hard for you and your business partner to pivot? Like, all right, we gotta start charging percentages. We gotta start doing equity. Oh, now it's 5,000 unapologetically. It's a small investment of 5. Was it hard to start saying to do this? Was it hard to do this?
Get to it.
It's 5,000 versus it's a small investment of 5,000.
No, not at all.
It wasn't hard for you to do that.
The reason why it wasn't hard is because I know what I invested. I know.
Bar.
I know what
you know what you invested.
I know what I invested. Like the $5,000 that and this is the frame that it's important for everyone to understand. The 5,000, the 6,000, however much someone pays me for any service in my business, you're not paying me for the thing that I'm doing for you, or just that. You're paying me for the countless hours that I spent building relationship managers all across the country, something that you were never going to do. You're paying me for the information that I have around all the changes that are happening in the market that are going to affect the difference between your business getting $25,000 and $50,000.
You're not going to do
that. You're not going to do. You're paying me for the countless representatives in our company that I've trained to make sure that from the second you pinky toe get in my business, we are providing you premium customer service from top to bottom and beyond. And I remember I heard something, I heard a quote one time that also really cemented this for me. You know who James Sexton is?
No.
Divorce lawyer.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. You know what I'm
love him. Yes.
He said the only thing that is more expensive than a good divorce lawyer is a bad one.
Yeah.
The only thing that's more expensive
because you're gonna pay twice.
Because you're gonna pay twice.
Yeah, like contractors. Oh, I'm not gonna pay for the contractors. I'll go to the cheaper guy. You're gonna circle the block.
How many times? You know how many individuals have found themselves trying to solve a 2-day problem over the course of 3, 6, 7, 8, and 10 plus months because they were trying to cut corner price? I'll share a quick story with you. I remember one time I had just a couple weeks ago, actually, funny enough, there was someone that DM'd me. It was just like, yo, Marv, I'm gonna, how can I work with you to go ahead and get my credit repaired? Right? This is on Instagram. But then I scrolled up in the conversation and I saw that this is actually somebody that had messaged me when I first started my company back in 2020. When I read the conversation we had in 2020, at the time I was charging $200 to $500 for credit repair. And at the time they said it was too expensive. Fast forward 5 years later, the same person came back, messaged me again for the same exact service. So that means you allowed 5 years of your life to pass for you to stay in the same exact position over $500. That means that for you, that $500 was worth more than you taking that next step and putting yourself in a good enough position financially so you can leverage that credit to take care of your family and get access to funding, right? So in understanding that, when we talk about like the how uncomfortable is it for us now to charge higher prices, it's not uncomfortable for us at all because I understand what the other side of it looks like and what we're actually saving you from compared to what we're charging you for.
If you don't clip this up in real for me,
it's just a fact.
So I'm gonna put on God's Instagram.
It's a fact.
That is a bar.
Yep.
You literally scrolled up.
Yep.
5 years had passed.
Yep.
And he's in the same position. And back then you was charging what?
About like $500.
$500. How much is it now?
Hey man, I don't know if I can say it on camera.
You have anything?
Unapologetic. Top it's at least $5,000 now, man.
10 times the price.
Yep.
Same service, 10 times the price, but that's what it cost them.
Yep.
And you're probably thinking like, wow, it went up $4,500. No, it's times 5 years and all the lost opportunity. The car note could have been cheaper. Could have bought a house. Could have invested in the business. That $500 cost them millions. And because we think like that.
And here's what's crazy. A lot of times, and I'm sure you've seen those situations happen in your company too. What do you think would happen over the 5 years? He said, okay, I could pay him this money, but I'm going to go ahead and try with company A. Okay, company A didn't work. I'm trying with company B, company B. So it's not that he didn't spend the money. he or whoever else, usually they try and spend it, okay, this mom and pop shop here, this person here, this person here. So it's like you went and lost he probably went and lost thousands upon thousands of dollars trying to save a couple hundred
in time.
Just from working with somebody that you knew that you ultimately wanted to work with, right? So, yeah.
That's a great story, bro.
Yeah.
That's a great story. I tell people all the time, you're going to pay.
That's
You're going to pay with your time or you're going to pay with your money.
Yeah.
So if everybody's a scammer and you don't want to do it yourself, then go learn the skill. But nobody wants to learn anything. Or you're just going to have to pay me for my service because my price is my price.
Right.
And you know what, bro? I bet you $1,000 he spent $500.
Oh, for sure.
He spent $500 on an iPhone.
Come on.
Jordans, on a trip to Miami.
You can't say this up. You gotta get
No, I don't care. $500 a trip to Miami. He spent it on a date he wasn't supposed to go on to. He spent that $500 in so many other places. When people say they ain't got it, I'm like, all right, cool. But I better not see, you know what I'm saying, on your Instagram, you doing anything else that can improve your life. And it is what it is. So listen, I want to get back to the pivot of the business. What is next for Takeoff Financial? I know we got the credit repair portion of it. You have an amazing community that's on subscription basis, and you're giving them so much value, so much content. You have a third tier of your high ticket clients where they're making $500,000, they're making $1 million a year, and you're helping them get $50, $100, $200,000 of funding. Like, you're crushing it in the funding game. Like, you got 3 nice tiers. What else do you want? What else do you see this company going?
So if we're talking about the long-term vision,
Yeah.
So the long-term vision for us is essentially, and we talked about this off camera, to start incorporating media, right? So everybody knows what I'm doing right now with the Marvin Francois show, essentially being able to build that so that I'm able to cultivate more partnerships with individuals in different spaces of business, because our goal is to be able to serve these established entrepreneurs that are doing at least $500,000 in revenue in different industries across the board. While in me being able to get access to those individuals, if I'm able to sit down with high-level 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs in the digital marketing space, in the real estate space, insurance company agency owners, tax professionals, law firm owners, and beyond, that allows us to be able to broaden the scope and bring an even larger portion of individuals back right to the company and be able to serve them. So just continuing to build on the media side, and of course using that as an arm to drive individuals, whether they're at the $50,000 mark or higher, into our Done For You business funding program, or they're on their way there, right? And they want to be able to get coached and work with our team directly, being able to push them there and continue to elevate on that.
I want to talk about lifetime value of a client.
Let's do it.
So, and since we're in the same space, we can speak about this. We do content to cash flow. We do the content. Somebody believes us, no like and trust factor. A credit repair person comes in. They got the $500 to give to you. When this lead comes in, you know, I bet I'm gonna get them right within 6 months, 8 months. Then I can put some trade lines on their credit report. That's another income. Then I'm gonna get them personal funding. That's another income. Then I'm gonna get them business funding. That's another income. So there's a lifetime value. That $500 client probably gonna be a $5,000 client, $10,000 client. When you're starting at a 7-figure client and you're getting them funded, what is the lifetime value of that client? Where do they go after that? Hope I didn't put you on the spot.
No,
where does that client go after that? After you get them funded, like they already got the credit, like what does that look like?
That's a great question. So within our firm in particular, typically for most of those individuals, because they're already established, they don't necessarily need guidance as it pertains to investing back in their company or assuming where to invest. Because for most individuals who are starting out in their business or looking to start business that want capital, usually the next step for most of them is, all right, I got the funding. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and can somebody show me where to put this money to go ahead and get a return? But for those individuals that are coming in who are already at that mark and essentially getting access to the capital, they already know they know where they're going to put the money, why, what they need the money for. So for them, within our firm, we don't have a next step for them to go to, but that's why we essentially also have the media platform as well. Because if someone who, for example, owns a accounting agency comes in and they get access to the capital, well, I'm able to sit down with a guy like Carter Cofield and be able to unpack how he's been able to scale his business, who's also in the tax space, and be able to provide value to them as well. So in a way, they're still in the ecosystem and they're still receiving value from what we're doing. We do have a couple of different things that we're doing. I don't know if I can talk about on camera right now, but that's some of the different ways that we go ahead and try and retain that person after the fact of them going through the funding.
Yeah, we kind of do the same thing. So what are their tax services? Because they have a different problem at that level. Hey, let's see if I can save you $100,000, $200,000 on taxes.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon? So we got the affiliate with that. Or is your business protected by a trust? You got a life insurance policy, you have key man insurance policy. So now we're having these different levels of conversation, and they're forever grateful with that. Let's bring this plane in for a landing.
Let's do it.
10 years from now.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be like, 28 now, 38.
38, he's gonna be a baby.
Don't do this. Don't
10
do
years
this.
from now, you're still gonna be younger than I am now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take this in for a landing. What does Takeoff Financial look like? Do you own it? Have you sold it?
Man,
are you only working with $1 million clients? What are we doing? Talk about that.
10 years from now, so I'll be 38.
Yeah.
Man, I think the goal at that point is that Takeoff Financial would essentially, I would have removed myself from the business.
Totally. Okay.
So I'm still a founder of the business.
1,000%.
Maybe I would have, I don't know if we would have sold it by then, but I would have removed myself from the business and replaced myself as the chief marketing officer. And essentially my job at that point in time is to essentially feed the marketing and media beast that drives attention to the company. So I'm doing public speaking engagements at some of the largest business conferences in the world. I'm continuing to build our media platform, the Marvin Francois show, and being able to sit down with not just 7 and 8 figure business owners, but now I'm sitting down with billionaires now. We're having much higher level conversations that once again are serving individuals that are trying to get to that same place. Right. I'm working on a book, if I haven't already written one already. Any and all things that pertain to media and marketing and getting more traffic and attention to the business I've spent the last 10 plus years building, that's where I'm at. And then at that point, if I decide that I want to sell, then, maybe we'll have that conversation. But I'll see that's what it looks like for us.
I know you're a busy man. I know the next stop, I know you got to go on The View. And
the View is crazy.
Like, I know it's Good Morning America a little bit later. Rest, I don't want to hold you hostage too much. I don't want anybody DMing me. They're gonna be like, "Oh, that guy that you had on the show, what's up?" Give them all your information. Give them the information. Where can they find you? How can they get in contact with you? If they need funding, they want to join your community, talk to me.
100%. Which camera is my camera?
Right here.
This one right here.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to give you your flowers, man.
I appreciate that.
Because, like you said at the top of the interview, that the class, the 1,500, I remember, quick side note before I give that.
Yeah.
I remember when I first walked into that class, I sat down and packed out room, it was like 40, 50 people. The first thing that I did was I said, okay, if I pay 1,500 and he's 60 to 78.
You did the math?
I'm like, oh, yeah. But once again, the shift that did for me from that day going forward was so monumental, man. And I appreciate you for being a great friend, a great mentor, a great business partner. And I'm excited to see everything that comes from, this going forward. So thank you.
I appreciate that.
Of course, brother. And for everyone who's watching at home, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. As Herman mentioned, my name is Marvin Francois. If you want to get connected with me, on social media, all things at Marvin Francois, on Instagram at Marvin Francois _, YouTube, Marvin Francois, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, wherever you have social media, out there. Now, if you are a business owner that is watching and you're doing at least $500,000 in revenue, and you're looking to get access to anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in capital, and you're interested in working with my company, I'm going to give her a link specifically for your audience. Where you're going to go ahead and click the link in the description. It's going to bring you to a page where you're going to fill out your information. You're going to go through a form, and then from there you'll be able to speak with an advisor on our team to learn more about how we can help position your business to get access to capital. And if you qualify from there, then we get connected with one of our funding managers on the team. We're going to do a risk assessment of your business. Now, what that means is we're literally going to diagnose your business and analyze it with a fine-tooth comb using the same lens that underwriters, that the lenders do, to give your business a risk analysis and a risk score so you can see not only where your business is, more importantly, where it needs to be in order to position before we actually start connecting with lenders and bringing you through the funding process. And for the people that don't qualify for that, because we want to be able to serve them as well. So if your business is making less than $500,000 in revenue a year, and you know that you're working towards getting there, that's where we have our other community, Takeoff University. So I'll also give you that link as well.
Okay.
So at Takeoff University, this is pretty much a community that me and my team have put together where essentially, whether you need help structuring your business, repairing your credit, building your credit, wherever you are in the early grassroots stage of your financial literacy journey in business, we have coaches in the community that are working with business owners like you every single day to help put your business in position so that later on you can circle back with us if you decide to, for us to be able to serve you and help you get access to funding. So the links for both of those things are going to be in the description below. And that's pretty much it.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being in service to this podcast and to 100,000 views.
To 100,000 views. 100,000 views.
This is another episode of The Execute Podcast with the Haitian CEO. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace out.